What's up, Terabytes?
I'm Tara with Tara Simon Studios.
And I'm Coach Nikki.
Of course she is. And today we're going to be talking about how to sing
Broadway.
Very forward. Okay, so we have a lot of fun stuff for you today. You're not going to want to miss what we've got in store. Make sure you stay tuned. Here we go.
Okay guys, so 3 things that are going to help you with singing Broadway is first, we want to change those ahs to Rs.
Yes, which is opposite of what we normally tell our students to do. Usually it's Rs to ahs.
Yeah.
But the second thing we're going to do is overly forward placement.
Yes, and then the third thing that we're going to do is to over-animate our faces.
Yeah. So step number 1, right? Ahs to Rs. Like I said, this is the opposite of what we normally tell our students to do. So it could be a little counterintuitive if you're not a natural Broadway singer and if you're trying to just learn or dip your toe into the world of Broadway. But here's why. When we go ahs to Rs, it really truly creates that sound that the listener is used to and expecting to hear when it comes to the Broadway genre. Rs to ahs creates more of a pop sound. And I'm going to give you an example within the context of a Broadway song of exactly what that means, because you're probably like, what the heck is she talking about? She's smoking something. I don't know, Tara's lost her mind. But it really truly makes a humongous difference. So just for instance, I think of when I think of like a true Broadway sound, that forward nasal hard conversational sound, I think of singers like Kristen Chenoweth, and I think of a song like 14G. Okay, so if you sing if you sing it on an ah and like kind of the way we train you to sing, you would do 13, 15, 14G, a most unlikely trio, not quite. So it's opened. I'm taking and minimizing any consonant that makes me close my mouth off because I want more space. And yes, we do want more space, but when it comes to Broadway, that doesn't sound Broadway. It sounds a little more pop, like I'm a pop singer singing a Broadway song, which isn't what we want. We want to sound like a Broadway singer singing a Broadway song. So how do we change that? Any R and any consonant really that you can grab onto but bounce off of, do so. Really say it hard. You kind of harden that R. So it would sound like this. 13, 15, 14G, a most unlikely trio, not quite, right? So it's got that, that little, it's like right here. And it's very toothy, it's very mouthy, okay? So ahs to Rs means I am focusing on the consonants a little bit more and kind of making a thing about them. I'm capitalizing on those Rs a little bit more.
Which again is the opposite of what we usually tell you to do in just about everything else.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, so the second one is overly forward placement. So in order to show you that, I'm just going to show you what not to do. So what comes to mind for me is Toni Braxton, Unbreak My Heart, right?
Yeah.
Unbreak my heart. It's very open. It's more back here, right?
Yeah,
but if I were to
forward and back, kind
right,
of. Mm-hmm.
And it's a little bit wider too. And if I were to do Broadway, then I would do, Cynthia Erivo. Got my house, it still keep the cold out. Woo! It feels like it's coming right towards you.
You do Broadway, Nikki?
Oh, hush now. I do many things.
Oh, you see? There she goes again.
I do. I write songs, I dance.
Okay.
What are you thinking about?
We're moving on.
Tara?
Yeah.
Did you pray this morning?
Yes, I did.
Anyway.
Yes, I did. But that's a good point, and sometimes knowing what not to do is just as important, and I think that's actually a brilliant example and a very stark contrast, because you've got this back forward placement, unbreak my, but then the same voice, the same beef, the same thickness can be channeled forward. It's not like you're not being true to yourself. She's still Nikki. She's still a hot mess and fabulous all in the same thing, right? But she is now switching gears. So it's like changing rooms in a house or flipping on a different color light switch.
Right.
Like you are still in the same place, you're still the same person, but you are channeling something different out of the characteristics of your vocal tool belt. And that's where true artistry comes in, guys. We don't want to be a pop singer singing a Broadway song or a Broadway singer trying to sing R&B. We want to totally immerse in whatever genre we're trying
right.
to exemplify at that moment.
Right. It's about the placement, right?
It is.
If you guys are not really sure what we're talking about as far as placement, we do have a couple of videos that talk about placement and how to do that. So go check that out.
Check out the tutorials. Okay, step number 3.
Animate your face.
Yes, big facial expressions, okay? Like, you know, I get some trolls sometimes online saying, "Oh, Tara, like, you know, you could use a little Botox." I'm like, listen, I do this for a living, okay? And I think I look pretty okay for doing that for a living, and, you know, I'm not bitter that you guys said that at all. It's fine. I love you anyway.
Don't undersell yourself. Don't say okay. It's look pretty great, Tara.
Why you keep her around.
It.
Anyway, you gotta animate your face. You really do. You can't be worried. And for those of you ladies who do have like facial expression limiting products in your face, it's not so great if you're doing Broadway. Like you need to be able to liven up your eyes, especially. Here's why. When we do this with our forehead, our eyebrows, and our cheekbones, it literally raises the pitch. It brightens the pitch, okay? Just like you wouldn't go to the gym and try to lift a ton of weights and not hype yourself up and be, you know, maybe drink some coffee or maybe warm up at first. You listen to her back there. You wouldn't just roll out of bed and try to do that, right? There's a process. You can't just go and sing these huge, big, brassy notes and be like this.
Right.
Fish face. You can't do it, right? So you have to animate your face. This is probably out of the 3 the most key, because it not only changes the characteristics within your voice, but it's that entertainability factor that the audience so desperately needs. That's why they're going to live theater in the first place. So,
I was animating my face. Go on.
So when we sing, in fact, do that example again with Cynthia Erivo. But now, like, and you did a pretty good job before. But now, give me even more about the facial expressions.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, got my house. It still keep the cold out.
Yes. And did you? I think your out was even better that time. And
because
I love
more
yes. And was it easier? Did it feel?
It was easier. It was much easier.
Okay. So I mean, you don't have to say it was if it wasn't, but it was it or
it was easier.
Yeah. Okay. So we're telling the truth here, right? We're telling the truth. She's speaking her truth, and it sounded better to me. It's also more exciting as a listener to see and hear something great rather than just hear something great when that
it's an experience.
Yeah. It's a full body experience. Yeah. So don't be so caught up in executing the first 2 steps that you forget this most important step. Chances are, if you do this last one, the other 2 will fall into place anyway.
Yeah. We didn't plan that. That just happened.
We didn't. That's not scripted at all. In fact, none of this.
Great minds.
Totally amazing minds. So guys, we hope that this helped you learn and dip your toe into the wonderful world of singing Broadway style. We'll probably do a couple more videos on this because there's a lot more to talk about, but this will get you well on your way. So practice this at home. Let us know in the comments box how it's going. Let us also know what you want us to do tutorials of next. If you want to get into lessons with this chick right here, because, you know, she kind of rocks everybody's world, make sure that you email the studio. All the info is in the description box below. Thank you so much for being the best part of our channel. We love you. We're proud of you. Make sure you spread faith, not fear, love, not germs, be a blessing in a stranger's life, because that is how we change the world. And with that, guys, we'll see you on the next one. Bye. And I'm hanging outside over the